This video shows how to upload your web page once you have created it on your desktop, how to upload it to the web so everybody can see. Uh, I'm going to assume that you have launched the WinSCP as we can see right here on the screen. And then now we need to just type certain information. So let me just look at the host name. So host name for us would be CS2356.cs.smu.ca. Then my username is Pawan. Yours will be something different. Password, whatever it is for you. If you have, you should have already changed your password by logging into Putty. If you have not, then it will be your A number minus the A part. So let me just type my password. I remember it. And then I'm going to say login. Sometimes I'll have to, I think once I logged in, it disappeared from the screen. So I'm just going to bring it back, share it with you. So sometimes what happens is it will ask you if you want to save this particular save this particular private key and things like that. Just say yes, do you trust this particular server? And in our case, we do trust the server because this is the server created by the university. In my case, the documents are like the web page is somewhere, so I'm trying to find it wherever it is. I'm going to the right location. It will be different for you, of course. Then in my case, it is under week 02. That's where I have the I've created a whole bunch of files actually, and a temp app.html from there is the one that I really want to have in place. So I'm going to copy it, but actually before I copy it, I need to create a directory called public_html, and that is where all my web files should go. So I want this particular web page to appear in the URL cs2356.cs.smu.ca/tilde Pawan, that's my username. And then underneath that, I'm going to have another directory called assign3 because this is supposed to be my assignment 3 submission. And in your case, remember the URL has to be exactly the way it was specified. So in order to do that, actually, I'm going to create the directory called public_html. Like a little bit more information about this particular topic is also there in chapter 2 of the book. So you can also, after reviewing this video, you can also read it up in chapter 2. So first of all, I need to create a directory called public_html. Remember, it's public_html. And I'm going to set the permissions to be whatever they are showing here. And I'm going to say that use the same settings next time. What this does is this means the owner can read, write to the file, and execute the file as well. And a group can read and execute, and others, that is entire world, can read and execute. We really want these things to be the case. This to be the case. And I'm just going to say OK. So now I have created this public HTML file, and you can see it's read, write, execute for the owner, read and execute for the group, and read and execute for the world. If you don't know what these things mean, just make sure that it should look like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go underneath that. So I'm going to go inside that. And remember, I said my URL is going to be the hostname /tilde Pawan/assign3. So I need to create another directory called assign3. And that's where my files are going to be. I'm just making sure that my rights are proper. That is rwx, r-x, r-x, as you see there. And then now I'm going to take my page. When I was working on it, I called it temp app.html. It also uses some CSS. So I'm just copying all of the CSS there. It also uses some scripts. I'm also copying that. I'm just dragging and dropping. But the URL does not say anything about temp app. It says that I'm just going to, like, the marker is only going to say assign3. So in order for that to work, we rename this particular file to index.html. So by default, your browser, when you say assign3, is going to load the index.html file. So let me. I think this is just about all we need to do when we transfer the files. So what I'm going to do, and I may fall flat on my face here, but we will give it a go anyway. We'll see if this thing works using a browser. So I'm just first of all going to start a browser um, in a different place, and then I'll share that browser with you. I'm going to make it a little smaller. You cannot see it yet, but you will see it eventually. Just resizing the browser for us to view properly. And now I'm going to share it with you guys. So I'm going to take this one back, and now I'm going to share the browser, and I hope it works. If it doesn't work, then I may have to use a different one. And I think it does work here. Okay, so I'm going to type the URL. Remember what is mentioned in the assignment. The URL has to be exactly like that: 2356.cs.smu.ca/tilde, and then my username, Pawan, and then assign3. Okay? Nothing else. That's all marker is going to type. So if that doesn't work, then you automatically lose 30% because your program does not work. Okay. So let's, as we can see, as soon as I type that, then I'm getting what I was supposed to get, and I'm just going to. This should be very similar to your assignment number 3. So I have entered the temperature, and all it's going to do is just display that particular temperature in the location over here. So that's all as far as how to load the page onto the web and view it from the web. We will, of course, practice this in the lab.